Welcome to the Woodpreneur podcast, the number one podcast for the business and marketing side of the lumber, woodworking, hardwood flooring, and sawmill industry. I'm your host, Steve from Acres of Timber. Each week, we feature various wood business owners and entrepreneurs from around the globe. We share their stories, paths, insights so that you can network, learn, and grow your own wood business. Thank you so much for listening. Now enjoy the episode. Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of the Woodpreneur podcast. This is your host, Steve. Today's guest is Jesse Schmitt from Premier Custom Millwork. How you doing, Jesse?
Well, Steve, how are you?
Good, thank you. Why don't you tell everybody about Premier Custom Millwork? What do you guys do?
Well, we are primarily a hardwood custom door manufacturer. We do full-size interior and exterior hardwood doors for the luxury market.
Awesome. Tell us the origin story.
Well, I guess it started way back in high school. In our junior and senior year, we were able to go to a BOCES program and work in building trades. Yep.
Yeah.
So we built two houses our junior and senior year. Also in senior year, you were allowed to work do an internship in your field. And I started with a local door company, and that's where I started learning the trade. Worked in the shop at that company for 5 years, worked in sales for 5 years, got to learn all sides of the business, and that's how I got a leg up on kind of starting my business.
That's awesome. And how long have you guys been around?
13, going on almost 14 years in January.
What made you want to start your own business?
It was really just I wanted my name to be on a good product. In sales, I wasn't able to control a product that was going through the shop at the previous company, and in sales, your name's on that product, even though it's another company you're working for, but it's your name, and I could no longer sell that product with my name on it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to work on something that I can make better. And it also helped that, the economy was bad. That was in 2010. Being in sales, my income was cut in half. So I was kind of forced to do something as well. But a combination of those two, it really was, my name was out there and I wanted a better product for the customer.
Talk about that first year or two. What was it like?
Cashed in my 401k and jumped right into it in January, right after Christmas. And like everything, it was a lot of work. It was a struggle. First year was, you had to make some sacrifices. The business model actually started out as just reselling. So I kept the same sales model. I wasn't able to jump right in making my own product, but I was able to keep some of my current customers from my previous company and start moving forward with that. So yeah, first year was rough. Second year, we doubled our income and just started getting smoother and smoother every year you put some time into it.
That's cool. And did you have any partners or did you do everything yourself?
So up until last year, about this time, I was a one-man band.
The whole time?
The whole time.
Whoa. For 12 years by yourself?
12 years. Yep. I really relied on machinery. So,
sure.
You get your first job and you buy your first piece of machinery. And we're talking like I had a rigid table saw, a little rigid joiner, and I started making doors on it that way. Got my next job. Okay, we upgraded the table saw, and we continued that process. As the years went on, didn't really make too much of really large purchases like $10,000 machines or over until probably 2015, 2016, and we just kept following. I kept following where my bottlenecks were. Okay, it takes me this long in this machine. Can we upgrade that? Kept following that until we ran out of space, and a year and a half ago we built a brand new building, the size we needed, the power we needed, and got our first pod and rail, 5-axis CNC, and
Hmm.
that was a game changer. That opened up so many doors for us.
So now you have 1.5 people.
Well, so yeah, a year ago we hired one guy. He was a pretty much a turnkey guy that was in the industry. Um,
Yeah,
that's helped out a lot. And we just got our second guy, and he's been here for maybe 3 months. And
amazing.
then there was a another millwork company that we relied on for some product lines, like just our moldings and S4S product. They made that for us. The owner was retiring. We were going to have to figure out where we were going to get that product. We got to buy machines now, get the labor. So we made an offer on that business, and
And you bought it.
we have a second location now as of June, and we added an additional 5 employees. So we went from one to I think we're up to 10 in about a year.
Congrats. Oh my
Yes.
God, that's incredible. Uh,
Hmm.
was this part of the vision when you thought about it 13 years ago?
Um, it changed every year. You really have a general idea, but every year you learn something new, and you feel what direction you want to go. Um, so overall, it was just, kind of goes back to I want a good product that I can put my name behind. The size of it never really was it an idea of where I was going to go, and I really was starting to get into not comfortable, but a good financial situation. I really didn't want to buy another business, but it was going to be a problem to figure out where we were going to get our products. So it was just something we had to jump into, and as a business owner, you learn how to deal with stuff, and you don't know how you're ever going to really take on all that stuff, but you do, and you figure it out and make the next step.
How have you gotten your customers?
So we've stayed in the New York City market. So we manufacture in Buffalo, and we ship everything down on our trucks to New York City. Um, so over the years, it's really just word of mouth that our name has gotten around town. Google certainly helps. We search relatively well on Google. Um, I haven't done too much crazy stuff with the website. I haven't done too much advertising on Facebook. We did do some during COVID time, but most of it was we're found on Google, and the calls come to us.
That's great. And how do you spend most of your time these days?
I am stuck behind a desk, unfortunately. I used to love to kind of split it up 50-50, 50% of the time in the shop, 50% in sales. It's just it's just a beast to run two businesses. So I am stuck in the office and don't get much time on the shop floor anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, luckily
so
you got good people that can produce the work.
absolutely. And then based on that theme of was always looking for machinery to find the bottlenecks and solve those. No one really thinks about it too much, but software is a side of it too. So we are looking into seeing how we can tighten up some of that area and get me away from the desk a little bit more.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. What's been the challenges of integrating the two businesses and, essentially, 10xing your business in a year?
um, Without having employees before, that's probably been the biggest challenge, just learning how to train them, how to set up procedures for them, and dealing with any mistakes along the way. I would say, just following up and learning on how to manage the people has been the biggest challenge. Um, Sales are completely different down there too. I can sell a 30 door job for New York City and get, quite a big X dollar amount percentage on the product. And then you look at moldings, which are just a stick of wood, and there's not much value added to it. So there's not much margin you can put on it. So I've gotten to notice a real big difference in business models on how that works. We got to sell a lot of sticks of moldings and materials to get the same value as we do out of the door side.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And who are your customers? Like, who are the people that you directly sell to? Is it home builders, contractors?
So we'll talk two different sides over here. So the doors, the custom doors, those are going directly through builders. Architects are obviously involved as well, but that's direct to the builder. There are some homeowners that call from New York City that need a custom front door for their brownstone, or custom sized door that they can't find anywhere else. We'll definitely entertain those, and we do those as well. The the molding side of it, again, a great benefit to the business, to the door side, is we now talk to more B2B businesses, and that is in the cabinetry industry, the install contractors. So we can also present our doors to that customer that maybe didn't have an option before, or wasn't looking at selling that to their customer. So we've noticed that that's helped out quite a bit as well, bring the doors more aligned to those customer bases.
And how how have you had to develop more as a sort of a leader CEO type? Like, internally, externally, what have you had to, I know that management of people has been like a new thing, but how has your either your mindset or your skill set had to adapt and change as a woodpreneur?
Yeah, I'm somewhat of a control freak, and that would probably be told based on me being one employee for so many years. So it's really learning how to let go of some of that control, realizing that you're not going to be able to control every aspect of every part of the business. You got to have people put in place and trust them, and know that that's the way that it has to work. So it's really growing as far as being able to release some of that control, and just knowing that's what we got to do.
Cool. Very cool. Where do you see the business going? Where do you want to take it?
Um, well, before we bought that other business, we would talk in the family and be like, you know what, I don't want to get big. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
that means, but I think I feel like I like the small, hands-on feel of the product doesn't go down an assembly line and touch 10, 15 hands. There's only a few set of hands that work on it.
Yeah.
So I don't mind scaling a business if I can somehow keep that model in house. Um, However, we are playing the long game. So there are some other big door competitors that are in our area. One of
Mm-hmm.
them's working on going out the door, and you know that work is going to have to go someplace. So
Yeah.
in the next 5 years, we've got to figure out how we can scale and keep that model of a hands-on feel product without going full production line. So I don't know how that really looks. Just that is a thought process in the next 5 years.
For sure. For sure. When during those 13 years, like, were you doing this solo? Like, I mean, did you have like other peers that you were reaching out to, or are you just kind of like lone wolf building, making,
No, thanks for asking
every,
that. Yeah. So networking was huge. You have to rely on other people no matter what, whether it's personnel inside your business or outside your business. So um, I knew that I could not take on every single aspect of every job. So, um, as I had mentioned, that other company that we bought, they were making jams for us. As far as the S4S for the jams, they were making the moldings that go around the doors. Um, we would talk probably once a week, and we'd say like, "Hey, how's the industry doing? What are you seeing? Is it getting busy? Is it getting slow? How's material prices looking? Hey, I need this type of product. Can you offer it? No, let's go talk to this guy." Um, I relied heavily on really showing my hand, and talking to other woodworkers and other companies and saying, "This is what I do. I need help with this. Can you help me out on it?" And just keeping communication open. And that was the best thing could ever done, because they got to see what type of person I was. I got to see what type of people they were, and we started trading work back and forth. So we were getting their business, they were getting ours, and that's what grew us along the way. Yeah, there's no way I could have done this like solely by myself, just going
yeah,
buying lumber and making the stuff and having the customers.
yeah, yeah. Um, cool. What are you excited about this coming year?
I just trying to get through it day to day. I do have to have a 5 year plan, 5 year look at things. And the next year, I think it's really trying to figure out how to buy back some of my time. I put so much time into this over that 13 years. It wasn't just working 9 to 5. It was working 9 to 11, 9 to 12, loading the truck at 2 in the morning. So I had 13 years, but I almost was doubling it in experience because I was working 2 shifts all the time. So I guess in the next year, I'm looking to buy back my time, however that looks, whether it's software to remove myself from the office a little bit more, training more personnel to take over some of my tasks. But I'm looking to kind of get back some of my free time, maybe have my weekends back, have my evenings back, and it's about time.
Um, cool. So, all right, this is the part of the podcast where I give you any marketing or business advice. Is there anything that I could help you with?
So customers are always asking for expedites, and sometimes we can help out when we can, but we've just been so busy that there's really no room in the schedule. Um, I'm trying to think of ways to get the customers on board ahead of time because a lot of it falls on the architect's approval from the builder, design changes, and it'll sit for 2, 3 weeks, 2, 3 months before we hear a change back. I'm trying to think of some sort of way to either put into a calendar, follow ups, something to just get in front of that customer every so often and say, hey, just a reminder, this is your lead time. Let's get on track here. Just not sure if I want to do a simple calendar system on that or if there's something else I could look at to try and follow up those customers and, you know, persuade them to know that the time is ticking away and we got to get moving on their stuff.
For sure, for sure. Do you use a CRM?
We do not use a CRM.
But you know what it is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think I mean between I guess a lot of your leads, I mean you're dealing with, like a couple, couple dozen people in your sort of ecosystem that provide you a lot of your leads and sales and work, you
True.
think?
Yeah. There's probably like a good 10, 12 repeat contractors that are constantly sending quotes and current projects coming in. Hmm.
So that to me, I mean, without having to delve into CRM, a spreadsheet that you're checking in often, um, what you could do is, I mean, it's pretty simple. If you use like a Gmail, you can put like ticklers that you can constantly go out and send reminders. Once you get into CRM, you can keep notes on every conversation that you have. And then if you wanted to, you can preload uh, automated responses. It could sound like you, but it could be a text message or an email that says, hey, this is your lead time. Get back to me, give me a call back, or I can give you a call today. And then you can trigger that sort of stuff. So you can have things working on a background. Um, are the people that you're dealing with, are they considered competitors or are they considered like peers?
Um, like peers, I would say. Yeah.
So that's a good answer because I think the benefit that you could do is that you can create a community out of them and get them all in a WhatsApp group. Um, and you can share what's working, what's not working, tell them what your lead times are, and they could, trade back and forth. So it's almost like you're at the center of your client, of your ideal clients, and they're constantly thinking about you. Also too is you can start thinking about like, okay, what are the things that they need, and then you start solving for their problems, and then they start to rely on you and look at you as a resource as opposed to somebody that can just provide them with one thing. And so, or maybe see if I could recap. For one,
Yep.
a low tech version could be to set up calendar reminders in your Google Apple Calendar for everybody. That's one. Two is that you can create a CRM and have everybody, and you can have everybody that's ever wanted to do business with you in there. With that, you can create a you can create email newsletters that you send out once a month on projects that you've completed, done, you know, news for the company. I mean, look, you just bought a new company, you added new 10 employees. That's worthy of at least a press release. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's two. And then you get all of your customers in a CRM, and then you can automate out based off of their deadline. So let's say the deadline is December 12th, and if you haven't heard from them by then, you can keep track of it. They can send automatic emails every week on a particular date, and you can schedule that out. And then the third thing that you can do is that you can get all of your really best customers all in a WhatsApp group, or Facebook chat. And you just literally just say, hey, I do business with all of you. And I figured it would benefit from you guys. Everybody introduce yourselves. I'll be telling you my lead times, new products coming in, new pictures. And I'm hoping to build a community here so that you can all share resources. And it's not like it needs to get used all the time, but at the same time, what you could do is that you can build, it puts you at the center of the conversation. And then when you're at the center of the conversation, everybody always remembers you, and that they'll always go back to you. And so I would also too just kind of put I mean, you seem like a pretty sort of networking value add type of person. To just like get your best customers on the phone and talk to them, you know, every other week, you know, find out what,
Yeah.
and it's just like literally just to check in. You don't want anything from them.
Right.
Is that helpful?
That's very helpful.
Cool. Awesome.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So, any last bit of parting advice for the Woodpreneur community?
Really just on the key point to building a business was that networking. So, don't be shy to reach out to the community, ask people questions. We're really all here to help. We want to see everybody succeed. So always keep that in the back of your mind. There's always somebody out there willing to help you.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much, Jesse, for your time. And I look forward to getting your story out to the Woodpreneur community. All right.